Never mess with this terrifying scarecrow unless you have protection, or you'll be in big trouble. These guys didn't believe it and hit the scarecrow with a stick. Not satisfied, they smashed bottles on it, not realizing they had angered the scarecrow. At 1:59:61 a.m., Xiaoji returned and kicked the scarecrow. Without likes and follows, he's doomed. It should take 5 minutes to leave the cornfield, but Xiaoji took a day and night and still couldn't get out. Then the scarecrow disappeared from the pole. Xiaoji was stunned and quickly left the cornfield, but a shadow passed behind him as he turned. Oh no, the scarecrow moved and started walking towards Xiaoji. Terrified, he ran and called for his mom, but tripped over a hoe. The scarecrow followed, and in desperation, Xiaoji grabbed the hoe to fight back. But the scarecrow was unharmed. As Xiaoji was confused, the hoe pierced his body. He tried to struggle, but straw started growing from his mouth, covering his body. By the next day, he became a scarecrow in the cornfield. The horror wasn't over. A girl approached Xiao Shuai, who was so scared she wet her diaper and ran down the corridor, but the strange girl was always ahead. The girl was always ahead of Xiao Shuai, who was confused. She tried several times, but the result was the same. Soon, Xiao Shuai was engulfed. The horror had just begun. This was all caused by a demon book. After one story ends, another begins automatically. Even tearing it won't stop it. The next target was Xiao Mei's friend. Xiao Mei warned Mike not to eat anything, but it was too late. Mike had just eaten a sausage, and the horror began. He felt uncomfortable and found a small thing in his mouth. On the floor, there was a Kazlan, which disgusted Xiao Shuai. Suddenly, a terrifying sound came from outside, and Mike quickly turned off the hallway lights and hid in his room. Thinking he was safe, Mike heard another scary sound in the hallway. A little creature appeared outside the door. Panicked, Mike hid under the bed, watching the door slowly open. He was almost suffocating with tension. Seeing no one, he cautiously crawled out. As he turned to look under the bed, despite his resistance, the creature pulled him in. The horror wasn't over. The woman's face had a strange pimple. Xiao Mei was nervous, not knowing she was in big trouble without protection. She tried to squeeze the pimple, but it didn't work. It grew bigger, as if something was inside. Xiao Mei felt uncomfortable, and suddenly a black hair emerged. Panicked, she tried to pull it out. Before she could act, a swarm of black bugs crawled out of the pimple. Xiao Mei frantically scratched her face. Her friends arrived, but Xiao Mei was covered in bugs. Xiao Na was so scared she was speechless. Her friends tried to remove the bugs, but there were too many. Clever Xiao Qiang had an idea. He quickly fetched a bucket of water and poured it on Xiao Mei, killing most of the bugs. Later, the police arrested Xiao Na and her friends. The horror returned. Foolish Fu Bole, bored, picked up the demon book. The lights flickered and went out. Undeterred, Fu Bo fired his gun, but the protected head was unharmed. The monster's small body parts fell off. Foolish Fu Bole met his end. The monster approached Xiao Na. In a crisis, Xiao Na quickly rewrote the demon book's story to escape.